Before we get to this video, I have a very important announcement to make. I need to talk to you guys about yesterday's video because something you need to know about me, guys, is I read the comments of the video each and every night before I go to bed because, well, that's what a good content creator does. He pays attention to what his subscribers and what his following says and makes sure that he allows his subscribers or his following to keep him straight. You see, yesterday I found a rumor that was, well, it was a fairly trending rumor. It was trending on Twitter. I saw some other creators make content on it, and I decided to drop it as a news video. My mistake was I didn't put rumor anywhere in the title. I'm referring to the Giannis Antetokounmpo news, and a lot of you guys thought it was real. And a lot of you guys wrote it off as fake news when I really meant it as a rumor from an unreputable source. And subsequently, a lot of you guys got upset. I want you to understand, guys, whenever something like this happens, every video, man, I'm looking at the comment section. My dedication to this job knows no bounds. Literally, I fall asleep with an Apple Watch on, and my Apple Watch has alerts being sent to it as I'm sleeping. So this morning I woke up to Shams reporting that the New Orleans Pelicans are shopping Jrue Holiday, and as a result, I don't get a lot of sleep sometimes. The last thing I ever want to do is damage my credibility with you guys. And if there's one thing that I think I do really well, and I'm sure a lot of you guys could attest to this, is I have no problem coming forward and saying, hey, I crossed the line, I did something wrong, and then fixing it. About 10 months ago, I did something I'm not very proud of with Kobe Bryant's death and some insensitive content I made regarding that. And I think I rebounded from that pretty well. And I don't think this is even nearly as bad as that. So without getting too rambly, I just wanted you guys to know I apologize, and I'm going to work my ass off to get your trust back again. I'm going to change the way I title these videos, and I'm listening to your feedback in each and every video, man. Because at the end of the day, you guys make me who I am. And if you guys are unsubscribing and you begin not to click on my content because you think it might be fake, well, I'm going to be out of a job because I do this full time. Now, this intro is getting very long, and we don't typically drag our intros this long. So now that we got all that out of the way, cue the intro. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Guys, if you remember a couple days ago, I said that the Los Angeles Lakers could be interested in several different point guards that they are seeking to pursue. And the primary one I said was Derrick Rose. I said there's another guard that they could potentially pursue in Victor Oladipo. And I said the final point guard, or shooting guard, because, you know, sometimes the Pelicans play Jrue Holiday at either guard position that they could pursue, is Jrue Holiday. And that was according to a report from Brian Windhorst. Now, Shams Charania woke us up, well, at least woke me up with some interesting news today as well, saying that the New Orleans Pelicans are openly discussing star Jrue Holiday in trade talks, and several contending teams are pursuing. Sources tell The Athletic and at the stadium. Now, although I would love to see Jrue Holiday get traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, I think in terms of assets and in terms of a trade between the Pelicans and the Lakers, that's just very unlikely. And it's not because the Pelicans hate the Lakers or anything. It's the fact that the Lakers already gave up their best assets to the New Orleans Pelicans in the Anthony Davis trade. And I really highly doubt the Pelicans would be interested in trading another former All-Star guard in return for, I don't know, Kyle Kuzma. Honestly, I would just be insulted if I was the Pelicans, if the Lakers even offer that, considering the fact that the Pelicans could have potentially had Kyle Kuzma if they traded Anthony Davis at the trade deadline prior to trading Anthony Davis this summer that Anthony Davis actually got traded in last year. So honestly, I don't think that's plausible at all. I would love to see it. I'm sure Jrue Holiday would like to go back home to LA. He went to high school in Campbell Hall High School, and, you know, he went to college in UCLA. I'm sure there's a part of him that would love to play in LA, but in terms of just an asset standpoint, I don't think the Lakers could give the Pelicans what they would want for Jrue Holiday to get traded to the Lakers. My favorite team that I think he is going to get traded to, and there are some sources that are speculating that Jrue Holiday gets traded to this team, would probably be the Brooklyn Nets. And it's because the Brooklyn Nets have a great combination of young talent. The Brooklyn Nets could totally use Jrue Holiday's services in relief of Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and DeAndre Jordan. And then the Pelicans also have had moments where they've seemed to really want to trend in this direction of acquiring a third star player. Although, I don't view Jrue Holiday as, grade A Kevin Durant tier of star, but he is definitely better than most players in the NBA, and he definitely could contribute to a championship team as a starter. Now, Brian Windhorst was an individual that speculated that the deal for a 30-year-old Holiday that would run through the Brooklyn Nets would obviously have to begin and include Caris LeVert and Jarrett Allen going to New Orleans. According to the Hoop Collective podcast, Brian Windhorst also said that the Nets and Pelicans had discussions about Jrue Holiday at the February trade deadline, and he admitted that his recollection of the whole matter was a little bit foggy. The direct quote from Windhorst is, "That's certainly something that's been out there. I think it's been reported, but if it hasn't, I found out somewhere, and I don't think it was from an executive, maybe it was, that there was some discussion between the Nets and Pelicans in February." That being said, whenever Shams says that the New Orleans Pelicans are openly discussing star Jrue Holiday in trade talks and several contending teams are pursuing, let's go take a look at the contending teams real quick. As I look in front of the standings in front of me and judging based off of teams that made it to the NBA playoffs last year, the only contending teams that I have determined that could absolutely use Jrue Holiday's services that would also have the means to trade for Jrue Holiday would be the Dallas Mavericks and the Brooklyn Nets. And you could also say the Denver Nuggets, but I don't think the Denver Nuggets would want to part with any of their young players in order to bring Jrue Holiday. I don't think they even need Jrue Holiday. So that makes the Brooklyn Nets the most likely contender to be trading for Jrue Holiday once again, which is consistent with what Shams says. Now, as I tried to conduct a salary cap legitimate trade between these two, I ran into some problems. Both of these teams are over the luxury tax, so it might be a little challenging to find a way for the Brooklyn Nets to part with their assets and also trade it to the Nets without putting one of these teams over the luxury tax. So, for that reason only, I wouldn't really be able to use the NBA trade machine to conduct a legitimate trade. But if I were to guess, it would be Caris LeVert, Jarrett Allen, Garrett Temple, Taurean Prince, possibly, if they want to take away one or two of these players and put in Spencer Dinwiddie, it wouldn't surprise me because Spencer Dinwiddie is a younger player that could potentially fill the role that Jrue Holiday filled in the past. But if you ask me, there's no other team that could possibly give the New Orleans Pelicans what they are yearning for more than the Brooklyn Nets. Caris LeVert would be a phenomenal addition to the New Orleans Pelicans. So would Spencer Dinwiddie. They would both fortify their bench significantly more. Jarrett Allen is a fantastic starting centerpiece that could even start right next to Zion Williamson. He was developing really well until, he was relegated to the bench because DeAndre Jordan came along. So let me know what you guys think about this report. It is coming from a legitimate source, so where do you think the Nets are going to try to trade Jrue Holiday? Also, please make sure you leave feedback on the way this content was done, because again, I'll be in the comment section hunting, and I'm going to be live streaming on twitch.tv/FlightMike later on tonight. I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.